It's going to be launching.
It says here, meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Hey, fantastic. All right, I'm going to mute. It's going to be launched. There you go. All right, excellent. Okay, I'll give ourselves a like. We've got the link. Just put it into the Zoom chat. So anyone that does decide to watch this, probably on the replay, they'll be watching some of this because I can't edit it out. So we're just going to be putting the live stream on our Facebook and see if anyone else live would like to come. And this is the wonderful Gemma from Align. Your name's Gemma. And you can get her on Instagram at Gemma.alignment movement.
I'm just gonna. I can't get my Facebook to come up.
It's okay.
Don't worry, I'll put it out retrospectively.
Gemma.
I could do it on my phone actually.
But human design specialist. And more. Okay.
I'm going to send it to you, Jen, so I can pick it up on my phone.
Okay. All right. I've got one. This is the fun of being your own producer and
You're doing amazingly.
Well, it's a bit like just have your determination. I think this is for anyone. If you've got a dream and you think I've got to be perfect, you don't. You just have to start.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just make a start and it will snowball and you will get better over time and you will learn more. You'll be able to, all of your skills will improve. And that has certainly been the case for me. Yeah, and that is your way to build your confidence by doing. That's a real integral part of my healing journey.
Isn't there a phrase, imperfect action beats or perfect inaction?
True. And how many people stay stuck because it's not perfect, but there is no such thing as perfect.
There isn't.
The only perfect is in the imperfections.
Absolutely.
And
that has been a huge thing for me to accept, because my conditioning was all around being being the best that you can be, being perfect, pushing yourself to the absolute limit to sort of stretch yourself, challenge yourself. And there is a part of us, there is an innate part of us that does want to do that, but we have to balance it.
you have to have balance. Yeah. You have to have
Just
balance.
making those imperfect steps.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Perfect. That only took a few minutes. I published it on the Facebook. So without ado, welcome to 108 Healing Senses podcast. Today, I'm so happy to be speaking with my lovely friend and also colleague, Gemma from Alignment Movement. You can get her at Gemma.alignment movement on Instagram.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Jen.
Oh, you know what? It's really lovely to be in this space. I enjoy every week being able to speak to someone, whether it's a friend or an acquaintance or someone brand new. I love it, but it's nice because we've been working together. I suppose a little bit on and off over the years, but there's always been contact. And
Yeah.
yeah, and our main point of contact of knowing each other is through Rosie Glow, Rosanna Hannis. So it's lovely, and we've both experienced her fearless course and also finding our own paths as to what resonates with us, finding different modalities that we get particularly magnetized to. So today, yeah, Gemma, tell us what's been your journey, what's your soul path? Have you what is it that drives you and brings a spark to your day?
Well, I would say the thing that drives me at the moment is really niching down, and I know that word comes with a lot of loading weight, but niching down on who I am. What's the essence of who I am? What lights me up? And trying to flow in alignment with my natural energy. So I work with human design now. It's something that came to me off of the back of doing the subconscious detox and healing work through Rosie Glow. So once I'd done that and kind of had a baseline clearing, which the reason I landed in the subconscious clearing world is because I had a lot of conditioning. And I'm actually a projector in human design, and we do take on a lot of conditioning. We are generally conditioned to operate like generators, and it's not conducive to our design. So I didn't know this at the time, but there was a big part of me that knew that there was some just mess that was going on underneath that needed some clearing. And so that's how I landed in doing the Fearless course, and having all of that kind of deconditioning and rewiring going on. But then, like you say, Jen, we came out of that, and then you're sort of searching, well, who am I without the conditioning then? Like, where's me? And so just after I'd been through that process, which probably took around 5 months, I then human design was just coming into my field. And I've spoken to a lot of people about how they've stumbled across human design, and it just comes to you. It's just when it's ready, it will show up in your sphere. And I just felt an overwhelming draw to it. I didn't know why. I just felt like there's something here that I'm meant to look at because I can't really ignore it. And I've never really got fully into astrology. However, human design is heavily linked. I think it was because human design gave me more of a logical structure to things. It wasn't so kind of out there. It really grounded it down into practical use, which resonated for me. So I then started to look into it, and discovering that I was a projector literally changed my life, because it gave me permission to go, oh, okay, that's why I can't like handle as much things as other people, even though I would try. There was almost like this gentle, like, you can be you now, that came with it. And that's not to say that there wasn't inner resistance within me, because there was, because I didn't really want to trust it. But the more and more over time, so it's been about 2.5 years now, I have allowed it to embed in me. And anyone who's in the human design world will tell you it is an experiment. You have to experiment with it. And the more that I lean into it, just only good things have come from me leaning into who I am as per my design. Now, what I wouldn't ever advise anyone to do is just take it as gospel. Don't look at it as this is my Bible for who I should be. In fact, everything that I'm about is removing the shoulds. So it's about finding resonance and how you work with your design. So yeah, that's really how I landed in the space that I'm in. And so now I'm actually working in the corporate world with human design to help people really play to their strengths, because that's what I love. I don't see human design. It's maybe why I came to it kind of later than a lot of spiritual people. It's been around for a while. But I didn't want to focus on kind of the getting rid of the shadow side and things like that, and the deconditioning part, because remember, I'd already done that through Rosie Glow. So I was really looking at how to bring out the highest potential, how to focus on the strengths, how to really just allow your own energy to show up in the world. And so some people have struggle with some of their core energies because they are not so delightful in the world. You know, so some people might have a strong conflict energy running through their system, but actually the gift in that is that they find diplomacy is really a real strength that they have.
Yeah.
So even though their energy might actually create a lots of conflict, they are the strength comes out in them where they find their diplomacy.
Mm.
Other people may have um, like provoking energy. It's called like the gate of provocation. And so we could see that as a negative. Oh no, you don't want that. You need to be love and light, you know. But actually, that energy exists for a real reason and a purpose, and it's actually to provoke people into their new direction, into their real self. You know, it's a pokey energy that's meant to move you because you're stuck. You know, if we didn't have people that provoked anyone, we're never going anywhere.
Mm. It
So
really, it does feel like a symphony, isn't it? The different personalities, these different traits, and they
yeah,
are complementary. You don't think them they are at the time, but they allow a symphony to
yeah,
of expressions and in positive and negative aspects. But that you do, if you can balance, if you can balance those challenging aspects of it or bring it into a higher light,
yeah,
just like you said, the diplomacy will come out of the
yeah,
potential conflict causing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
love
And
that.
so I think what a lot of people can start to do, especially what when we were saying talking earlier about personal development, is about getting rid of those um, self-sabotaging behaviors and stuff like that. And whilst that is great, I would say it's more about self-awareness. Is that actually a strength that you have? Is there something underneath that energy that keeps showing up that is actually a gift that you carry, that actually other people can learn from? For example, I don't have the gate of conflict, my son does, so he generates a lot of conflict around him, but he is able to navigate his way through it because he's got diplomacy as well, and he's taught me how to handle conflict because I would just run away from it. I don't want to deal with that energy.
Mm,
Uh, but actually learning through people who have to navigate that energy because they have it on a daily basis,
mm,
actually we can learn a lot from each other. And this is the other thing that I love about human design. It's actually seeing everyone as a unique part of the puzzle. And so there's no, we all need to be the same, and we all need to behave the same way, and there's this set of rules that we all need to abide by. Actually, human design says no, that's not how it is. Everyone's uniquely wired and designed differently on purpose so that we can all learn from each other and learn that we're all aspects of source anyway, all
mm.
showing up in different ways, and the puzzle will gradually fit together and harmonize, but not through sameness. It's actually from individuality.
Yeah. You know what? Even Google have done studies to see how a creative genius is formed.
Mm,
And they found that through so they would get teams together and they'd be like, okay, teams that are quite similar, they didn't really excel. The people that excelled, the teams that excelled were the ones that were the most diverse
mm,
because it puts you in a space of not being one, not really caring what your peers think, because you could be a range of ages, a range of backgrounds, and all everything else that goes with it. But it came down to the differences. That's what allowed more space, less judgment, um, and more opportunities to see things from a different perspective, on a different angle. And
yeah.
what if you take that out of the context of being in a corporate team, but take that into a context of being in a community or even
Mm-hmm.
a family or a nation?
Mm-hmm.
If we all started to listen to the other person, see things from their shoes. If you were standing in their shoes, how would you feel about the situation?
Yeah.
Also, would you like the way that you were speaking to that other person? So it's so much consideration that you can begin to start practicing in your daily life. That's what
Mm,
helps you elevate.
mm.
also becoming more aware of yourself through those actions of consideration for others, also knowing when to, you know, have very healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
And say, and when you see something that isn't right, you speak up for that, because
Mm-hmm.
if no one does, then bad things continue to happen for a long time
Yeah.
until someone says no, and then more people say no.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that the everyone being piece of the puzzle and recognizing our differences is actually what brings us to unconditional love. Unconditional love isn't just unconditional, tolerance and acceptance, like you just said. It's actually recognizing that everyone's uniquely different and we all fit together. And I think I would also bring in that why not let other people play to our strengths? Why are we trying to be everything? Why are we trying to be good at everything when
mm,
actually we can just say, well, I'm really good at this and this person's really good at this. So why don't I do this and they do that?
yeah.
And then we all elevate together, but we're all playing to those strengths,
Mm,
rather than, oh, I think this conditioning comes from school where we've all got to be on a level playing field. We've
yeah.
all got to be good at the same things. And if we're not, we can't have
And
ranges.
and it's highly competitive, but in a really
Yes,
negative manner. Unless
yeah.
you're extremely academic, you're everything that your strengths is what the system of grading you is.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the same grading system, great, fabulous. If you're not,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in that category. I have always tried my hardest, and in some areas I have excelled, and those were the paths that I chose to go for. Um, because it is important to like cherish your wins, and also don't hold on to the things that you lost at,
Yes,
because it's never a true loss. It's just more of a either yes, I need to do this thing, so I have to learn this in order to get there, and over time I will improve, or it's just that is not part of I
I
can't
don't do
I
it.
can't I
Yeah.
can't resonate with it. So, just
Let
like,
someone else resonate with it, and that's fine. But
yeah.
yeah, you're exactly right. I feel like there's an emphasis that comes on focusing on your weaknesses as if you need to fix them, rather than just going full blast at your strengths.
Yeah.
Literally following your interests, following your joy, following your bliss, like going towards the thing that you're really strong at and becoming really good at it because you naturally are.
Mm,
And this brings me to like our energy is meant to flow in a certain direction. That's what human design shows us, is meant to flow in a certain way. So why when we divert that and we try and condition it to do something else, we're blocking the flow, literally blocking the energetic flow of it. So then that's when we feel like we're not good enough, we don't know what we're meant to be doing here. Well, if you're in alignment and you are flowing with your natural energy,
mm,
you don't really care what everyone else is doing because you're in your lane.
mm,
And then you can recognize those that are meant to flow beside you, because they will have things that you're not very good at, and they can come in and help you and support you with that.
yeah. Yeah. I am.
We waste
You
a
were
lot of energy
speaking.
trying
Sorry.
to we can waste a lot of energy trying to get good at the things that we're not really good at.
Yeah. I feel like there's two tiers. There's like your ultra passion or destiny, the things that are your creative genius in life, your mission, whatever you want to call it, business, legacy. Um, then you also have the other things that, I mean, I said it before. When I was growing up, I kept finding myself in PA roles, and I am dyslexic. I'm quite organized, actually. I'm very organized. But it has taken me time to practice for
Mm.
over a decade to become my own best PA. So, if you're all and if you're disorganized, you can't, for me personally, because I've gone through it myself and I have improved myself, is don't allow labels to stop you from trying.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Because it's important. And I'm so
Mm-hmm.
happy that I did push myself, keep pushing myself, and I still do to this day. Even you know that, Gemma, as well. It's like getting out of your comfort zone is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you grow. As long as it's not like draining you from the core every single time you come to it, that's a different situation. That's when it's like, okay, you know what, that isn't my strong suit. So what is? And using human design could be a really great way of finding that out. So actually maybe you could kind of describe I don't know, a chart of how, say, for instance, if someone came and they wanted to find out more about themselves, how
Mm-hmm.
what would they find when they have a chart reading experience with you?
Okay, so the main thing that you'd pull out of a chart, so the first time that you land on it, is how your energy um, is on a daily basis, on a consistent daily basis. So you've got the generators who will literally wake up in the morning and they have life force energy running through them, and it's ready to be put into the things that light them up, the things that bring them satisfaction. And then once that energy is fully used, they will then feel tired and they will go to sleep. You then have other energy types, and sorry, that covers manifesting generators as well. Other energy types being the manifestors, the projectors, and the reflectors that don't have consistent life force energy. It's very much as and when energy comes to them. So for manifestors, it's an urge or like an impulse to do something. They will be able to access energy then, and they'll be able to put it into that thing. But it's not consistent, it's not daily, it has its own rhythm and its own cycle. And then projectors, interestingly, is we amplify other people's. So we take the generators around us, we take their energy and amplify it. So we can become super generators, but it's not our natural state. So yeah, it's learning how your energy is, first of all. And then the most important thing that I think for everyone to get about human design is the way that you are designed to make decisions. And this is so for someone like myself who historically couldn't, my sister would tell you that she always looked at me as if someone who can't speak up for themselves. So, which is funny because nowadays, right now, this version of Gemma absolutely can speak up for herself. But in my childhood, I had shut down that part of me. It was too scary. And so, along with that comes actually making decisions, because if you can't speak up for yourself, you're not making a decision either underneath that. So human design helps you to understand how you make decisions. And yeah, it's called strategy and authority. So strategy is how you interact with the world, and then authority is how you make those decisions. So for generators, they are all designed to respond to an external stimuli. So they might not know exactly when they wake up in the morning what they want to do, but something will come to them. They'll get, I don't know, someone might call them and say, "Hey, do you want to do this today?" And they're responding, "Oh, yeah, I do want to do that."
Mm.
And their authority comes in, their decision making strategy of whether that is an instant yes in the body, which is a sacral response, or whether there is potentially going to be an emotional wave where they might feel like, yes, I want to do that. And then after 24, 48 hours, they don't want to do that anymore. So there's different ways that generators can respond to things.
Mm.
You've got manifestors, like I've already said, they actually get the urge come through them that no external stimuli is relevant to a manifestor. They will literally get like a download or just an urge to do something that comes out of the ether, nowhere, and they just want to do it. And that's where they will move to. And their energy can actually be quite repelling because it will push anyone out the way that is not on board.
Oh, is that why? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
So
a
if they can't
manifesting
help you,
generator.
Yeah, if they have nothing to offer you, nothing to help you on your urge, you will literally blast them out of your field. It's not personal. It's just like,
No,
yeah,
I'm
you might
concentrate.
help.
I'm literally there's it's almost like, and this is another way I've been able to hyper focus and ground myself is by just focusing on one task and doing it to the
Mm-hmm.
end, or doing it to as much as possible, and don't don't allow other energies to come in, because other energies are interfering when you're trying to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
stuff done. That's how I feel, at least.
Yes. Yes, because you've got both, haven't you? Your manifestor generator. So you've got that manifestor urge. And that's a real fire starter energy, by the way. It's like setting up structures,
Mm,
like so that things can get off the ground. It's like that, when a plane's taking off, it's that initial jet fuel.
yeah.
Whereas then, so for pure manifestors that don't have generating energy, they literally set things up and then they're designed to kind of hand them over to someone who can keep them running. But
Right.
you have both in your system. So you're
Mm,
able to set things up and then you're also able to keep it consistently going,
right.
which is, I call manifesting generators like, multi, what did I call them? Like superhumans, because they can do both.
I'm very
Like,
tired by the end of the day, but
very,
I squeeze every last minute out.
yes, yes. You've got that jet fuel and the capacity to keep going as well.
Yeah.
It's mad. So yeah, and then what did I just say? Manifestors will get the urge come through them. Projectors, which I am a projector, their strategy is to wait to be invited. And what that actually means is not for someone to ask you to do something. It's never that. It's actually to be recognized and seen for who you are, which means it's very important for you to recognize and see yourself first.
Mm,
Because if you recognize and see yourself and you know what you have to offer, then you'll know whether the invitation is correct, whether what that person is asking you to do is actually in resonance with who you are and what you can provide for them.
mm,
And mostly for projectors, in fact, I think, I can pretty much say it's across the board, it's our wisdom and our advice that is the biggest thing that we can offer other people. So when someone comes at me and says, I've got all of these, physical tasks for you to do,
mm.
that's not the correct invitation for me. No, no, no.
What's a nice way to be asked to do many tasks for a for a
Don't ask me. Just don't ask me.
and a
Because
pigeon?
no, but obviously, I'm not oblivious to the fact I have 4 children. They are going to ask me to do things like make them food and stuff, and I can't just be like, no, that's not in my project nature. I'm only here for advice.
I advise you learn to make breakfast.
However, it's very natural for me to teach them how to be self-sufficient because I know within myself my own limitations, capabilities there. Like
Yeah.
I don't have that consistent life force energy to be able to keep doing those things all the time.
Mm,
So this is the interesting thing. Whenever I have a conversation with someone about their human design, it's always hits them on a deeper level of, oh, I've always known this. And then it's like, but then the filters came in, didn't they?
mhm,
So then they distracted you from this core knowing of who you are and what your energy does naturally. Yeah, I've always known I'm not been meant to be running all around town doing stuff, but the conditioning said that's what we do.
mm,
And also family dynamics play into that. So it really interestingly, my mum is a generator and she has the maximum amount of motor centers that any generator can have. So being born in that womb or being growing up in that womb, I had a lot of generator energy being pummeled at me, and I
mm,
have no motor centers in comparison to her. So I have no kind of get up and go. That's not
mm,
to say that when I'm around generators, I can feed off their energy and I can have that get up and go. But
mm,
it's really important for me to balance with doing nothing and actually just allowing myself to recalibrate in
mm,
nature, have full days off, have lots of rest, so that then I'm open and ready for having a burst of energy and being able to get things done. And the beauty about projectors, because we can go, we can take on that generator energy and amplify it massively, is that we can get things done really quickly. So we can be super efficient. And that's actually the reason that we're here, is that advice, that wisdom is always looking for how can we just like stop going around the houses and get to the point and make it really efficient.
Yeah.
So what I've covered: generator, manifesting generator, manifestor, projector. Then you've got reflectors, who they're literally here just to sample and kind of taste things and have really unique experiences. They're here to, by design, they're meant to take on lots of different energies just to kind of taste them. And their strategy before making any decision is to actually wait a calendar month or a lunar cycle. So they might feel like they want to do something, but then they just wait to see whether it comes back to them.
Okay.
So much slower moving, but they literally live in kind of an aura of surprise. They're waiting for something to surprise them and show them something different that they've never experienced before.
Oh, sounds so whimsical.
Yeah, they literally, the different energies feel different. And what I would say, sorry, just skipping back to the projector, is that we're meant to deeply see people. So I don't know whether you feel it, Jen. I mean, most people do feel it. It's like an intense focus. And so sometimes for some people that can feel very uncomfortable. And we just have to be aware of that. Not everybody wants to be seen in that way. And so therefore, that's why the invitation is really important for us, so that they've actually said, oh, hey, look at me, like, see me properly. And we're ready to do that. Of course, we're ready to do that anytime. But yeah, some people don't want you to do that, and they just go and make some food or something like that. Do something practical.
Yeah. I maybe it's just from my background and my journey, but I really observe people to really, I watch them. I mean, I do see them. Also, I've been thinking about this recently. If you observe how the company that you keep, how they behave with their friends, their family, or if they have any frenemies, or if they badmouth people behind their backs, I'm very observant, because those are the people I wouldn't want to have close to me, because if they're like that to other people that are connected to them,
Yeah.
it's not a good look.
No.
Unless you change your act. But that's a sidestepper of witnessing people and observing them as they are, without judgment. Like, just try and keep in the most neutral space, but then you can make balanced decisions when you're able to observe life and situations and people for what is actually happening.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is, because I've been a bit fanatical about human design for a long time now, is that I start to see people as their energy.
Ooh.
As soon as I know their energy, I know how to navigate that energy. I know, well, actually not how to navigate it, but I know how to hold space for it. So whereas human version of me may have judged certain things as like, oh, why do they need to be like that? Why are they like that? As soon as I know their energy, and I can kind of logicalize it or put it into a format that makes sense to me, I can then hold abundant space for it. Because then I'm like, oh no, you're meant to be like that. Of course your energy is meant to do that. And then I really think, okay, how is their energy teaching me, or how is it moving me? Because me as a projector, I can take in and I can amplify that. So how I'm behaving around them, because it's really interesting. My brother used to say, "Are you such a chameleon, Gemma?" And yes, there would be a people-pleasing element of that was conditioned. But actually what I see now is that depending on who I'm around, I'm taking in their energy and I'm amplifying it naturally as a projector. So I'm literally showing themselves. So I'm really observant of not just them, but me when I'm with them. What comes through me when I'm with so and so? What comes through me when I'm with so and so? It's really interesting because it does change. And that's the playful part of being a projector, is that I get to kind of like amplify the thing that maybe they're not aware of. But yeah, I start to see people, and then it does feel like a heart expansion. It's like you're able to, rather than judge them on this human level of behavior and stuff, it's like, no, actually, when you understand their energy, you understand what they're here for and why they are behaving that way.
Yeah.
And you just drop it all. You just drop any kind of like any judgment, and it's in a real genuine way, because you're not holding them to any standard anymore. You're saying you just be your energy, be who you're meant to be, and I'm going to honor that. But I think again, it's all conditioning, it all goes back to school and everything, is that we hold people to these standards and expectations, and I really do believe that we can break that all down if we just understood the core of people. Because yes, underneath everything, we are all the same, we're all from the same source, but we came through this unique coding, and we just need to understand that that unique coding is different from ourselves. And therefore we can drop all the expectations on someone else, which is unconditional love.
Love it, love it. Yes, 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 yes. You were speaking, I was like, yeah, my heart is grinning, and absolutely. It's,
Yeah.
I have found through my journey, by getting to know myself, I've also come to a greater level of under and inner standing of others.
Yeah,
Their,
absolutely.
their best and their worst parts, because I've acknowledged the best and the worst parts in me, and I've also
Yeah.
acknowledged why those maybe more shadier sides were there, but actually it's all relevant. It's
Yeah.
required. It's called balance. Sometimes you
Yes.
need a little bit of to
Yeah.
to in order to stay alive, safe, secure, on path, healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
It, this love light fluffiness is not a positive thing.
It's
I would
not.
say that's another level of dark pretending to be light again. And
It's
that,
bypassing.
sorry,
It's bypassing.
yeah, spiritual bypassing, absolutely. And this is something to acknowledge if anyone's watching and they are in energetic or spiritual groups, if they're also not acknowledging that shadows exist. Red flag, that's all I'm saying. But everyone's got their own journey, but massive red flags. If people aren't acknowledging that there's any darkness or they don't have any, then you have to be, just listen with your heart, and you will find the right door to the right place.
And
Yeah.
actually, on that, it always shows up anyway. It's pretty obvious where the shadows are being ignored, because, like you said earlier, it will show up in how they speak about other people. It's very illuminating when you see those things. You're like, okay, you haven't integrated that part of yourself. Yeah.
I've had that recently. I've had that recently. And, I always do my best to be the best judge of character. And there are people to be in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, or many lifetimes, in fact, because actually, when you come down to it, soul family is probably why you keep having similar patterns coming up. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you need to continue it in this lifetime. No way, Jose. That's how you can release and stop karmic loops from cycling again and again, is don't put up with bad behavior. And if you see someone still in their shadow, um, know when to have healthy boundaries, know what they are allowed to have access to you, including your energy. If you've including healers or any practitioners that you work with, you have to be very ideally you have someone that says, I've worked with this person, it's been great. Or, you get a vibe by connecting. Like, also, this is a platform for people to find more of their tribe, and the tribe to find more of the next frequency key holder on their path. They might be like, you know what, I need to know, I really want to learn more about myself. I'm going to go work with Gemma or any other human design practitioner, but I just feel that connection with Gemma. I feel like she will be able to see me and do it in such a loving, unconditionally loving and caring manner that she's right for me. Or the
Yeah.
same with me. If you want to have any visionary soul coaching and be able to clear your past and help to anchor and align to your best future, like we all have our the things that we've personally gone through to master, and then we will have had additional training or just learning as well. It's like you can learn so much. You don't always need a certificate, please.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you got a
Yeah.
PhD and a list of people don't care if you don't hold that frequency resonant if you don't resonate with that frequency, you
Mm-hmm.
can't teach anything because you're just speaking air.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
there's nothing to come with those words, with that pattern, with that light encoded from that exchange. You're not going to get anything from it. But
Yeah.
this is where we're in this Aquarius age. This is how I see it, is people going more inwards, finding out more about themselves. It's breaking old chains, breaking old loops and patterns. I mean, you see the kids these days. I mean, if you don't mind, what are your kids like? Are they like just little star children running around being geniuses?
Pretty much. I mean, I would say that I've always, by nature, before I even realised that I was a projector, I'm here to guide them to stay whole, to stay connected to themselves.
Right.
And I think anyone who has met my children would say that kind that's what stands out. They're very solid in themselves.
Yeah.
They're quite difficult to knock, if you know what I mean. So there's an inner sense of self and confidence. That's not to say that they can't be, emotionally rocked by certain things. Absolutely, that's real.
Mhm.
But they do have a clear connection to self. That they are probably opposite of who I was as a child, as a people pleasing child.
What a gift, though, Gemma. What a gift.
Exactly, exactly. I've gone the opposite way. So they can be challenging, they will push back, but they are able to hold a level of respect for others as well.
Nice.
They
Nice.
they've kind of got that mid ground, that balance of staying true to themselves and respecting that other people have opinions and they have views and whatever,
I would
which is a big part of my purpose, was to keep that intact.
I wanted to say, I wanted to congratulate you for doing your inner work and
Mm,
therefore also breaking any karmic loops or cycles from your family lineage or from your soul lineage. So you
mm,
became your most sovereign self mastery through your inner healing work. And then your children don't have to experience the same pain that you did.
yeah.
This is what healing the family lineage, like ancestral healing, looks like in the
Mm.
flesh. So thank you.
Yeah, you rewrite the story, you change the story so that it's different going forwards. And my genuine wish is that they continue that with their own children, is that they continue to make sure that they have a balance between knowing themselves and then learning how to interact with others.
Mm, yeah, that balance. I mean, you get that with life, but if they've got a really good, if children have a good start in life and they know themselves and they are unfazed. I mean, I get emotional about things sometimes too, so that's not a bad thing to also, feel things.
But
But
this is interesting because I had a conversation with my friend Olivia yesterday, who is also a manifestor, same as my son. And for manifestor, one of the big powerful emotions that comes through them is anger, and particularly it's rage. And she obviously, in her childhood, no one understood the power of that rage that would come through. And so it was always pushed down. It was punished. It was like, kind of demonized, when actually it's the most powerful part of her. And she's having to uncover and kind of go through that. It can feel quite dangerous, right, when you start to let the rage come through. But I'm empowering my son to understand that anger serves him. As long as he's not being violent to other people and he's not destroying things, which I won't say never happens, but that rage is actually, that has a purpose and it is allowed to be there, then he's never going to shove it into the shadows and try and avoid it. It is a part of him. So it's really interesting how we can, without meaning to, we can as parents put things into the shadows for our kids by kind of telling them that part of them is not welcome. When actually we should be holding space for all parts of them. And so allowing it all to coexist.
I think where there is suppression, there's also, if you're suppressing another, whether even if it's your child's emotions, it's like, well, where are you suppressing your own emotions?
Absolutely.
It's always a reflection.
Yeah. And what I would say, interestingly, is that I know, because I was a huge one for suppressing my emotions, is that I would get scared by my children's emotions. And then I would try and run away from them, or do something to make them feel better so that they wouldn't feel that. And through doing all of my inner work, I'm able to hold more space now for all of those expressions to come up. And they don't impact my nervous system like they used to. And therefore, I don't have to fix them. They just are. So, and I don't think we're quite there yet, but we are moving in that direction where we have to be able to handle the emotional expression of another. It's really important. And so that we don't, start, can't handle it, or like stop doing that, or do you want a sweet or whatever, like just to try and fix the situation so they don't feel it.
Yeah, it's quite a journey, isn't it? Quite a journey together, but they chose you and you chose them. So I mean, beautiful times if you come at it from that perspective.
Yeah. But like you were saying earlier, also, like going in and meeting those parts of ourselves, every time we do it and we meet that new aspect, I can guarantee that life will then bring me someone that's fresh in that zone. And I have so much compassion and I can hold so much space for them because I get it.
Yeah. You can hold the space for what you've already held the space for yourself.
Yes, exactly.
And it's not cliche.
Yes.
It's not cliche because it is an energy thing. It's a frequency thing. It's like, I managed to traverse through this hellish situation and I've come out better than before. Now I hold the keys so I don't lose my in situation. Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
I think people, when you were saying about, resonance and things, people can feel that as well. They can feel that you're a safe space. You can hold them without the judgment. And going back to what we were saying earlier, whenever it's quite, people tell on themselves when there's things like gossiping or something like that. Because and I could also hold compassion with that, because I can say, well, you haven't met that part in yourself yet. And so that's why you can't hold compassion for the other, or you can't hold understanding for the other, and you'll get there. It's okay.
Keep practicing. But
like you said, it's learning that. I mean, I don't know, actually. I don't know whether I then feel like I need to put firm boundaries in around that person, because I'm kind of at the space where I'm okay with myself, and I can witness your behavior, but actually I'm okay with me. If you go and talk to me about someone, I don't really care.
yeah.
I don't feel I need to protect. Yeah.
Healthy boundaries could even just be like limiting the amount of access that someone has. Yeah, it could be, and it will be very unique to the situation and the people involved. I think anything that brings like an excessive amount of drama and emotional distress and bullying or slander, I
Mm,
don't want to be around that. Why don't
mm.
I want to be um giving my time, my energy to those that they're unable to want to access that. They're going down another path. They're going in
Yeah,
the they're going negative energy now. It's not positive or just being non-attached. You're like, great, if you don't like someone, just let him go
yeah,
and walk the other way and get on with your life.
yeah, exactly.
That's how
Yeah,
we can.
or but the reason that they're in that situation and they're going around in that loop is because they haven't faced it yet, and they maybe don't have the tools for it. But
Yes.
again, you don't need to go in and fix someone. You
No.
just hold compassion for it, and at some point they'll get to see what they need to see and let them walk their path. But I totally agree with you. It's just kind of limiting. I don't want to be in that drama without the tools to navigate that, because I think there are some people where an issue can be raised and then you can look at all your perspectives and have a healthy discussion. Because I'm not going to say that I never speak about anyone, I do, but I also question, why am I seeing it in this way? Can I
Mm,
change my perspective? Is there something I'm not seeing? And that's why sometimes speaking to another person about how I'm, you know, perceiving this situation is helpful, because then they can illuminate my blind spots and go, but have you looked at it in this way? Ah, no, I haven't. And there's an openness. And if you're open to doing that, then I'm all for that.
yeah. That's kind of witnessing a situation and being in
Yes.
it's the
It's,
observing versus judgment. And the
yeah.
judgment could be like, oh, why do they do that? And blah, 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 blah.
And
It's not
it's
like,
blame. Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
blame, shame, uh, blame, shame, guilt.
yeah.
Those are real strong energies that come that if you spot them, if you're going through it yourself, okay, where in my life have I done the
Yeah,
same thing that I'm unable to accept in another person? So
absolutely.
actually, it's a really fantastic way that if you get triggered,
Yes.
this is an opportunity for you to transmute that energy. If you
Yeah.
don't, then it will just hang about until the next opportunity. And that's how soul lessons happen.
Mm,
Until you resolve it, it will keep continuing in this lifetime or future lifetimes. And it sure as shit would have been happening in past lifetimes too. So this is we can see patterns and programs from lifetimes. If you've been
yeah.
dysfunctional about relationships, there might be something in past lives, either something that's happened from your childhood that you picked up as an imprint, something that's an ancestral wound around
Hmm.
relationships, or something in a past life that you've experienced as in a traumatic experience
So,
in a relationship, which has caused this reaction and programming and conditioning to behave in a certain way that could be destructive, um,
mm,
or self-sabotage or whatever it is. So get excited about get excited to see the flaws because it's the
yeah,
opportunity to shine. Let them shine.
yeah,
Bring them
yeah.
into bring them into strength with love and see what opportunities await on the other side of loving that part up.
Yeah. And I think anyone who's willing to do that, who has the courage to face themselves, basically, why am I pointing the finger at this person? Why am I getting annoyed with this person so much? And is able to go into that space of why, questioning why, rather than just, no, that is how it is. I just want to reassure people that's such a courageous thing to do. That is you doing the healing work that you need to do to change your story going forward. It's phenomenal, because genuinely sometimes, like, some people, they're not ready for it yet, they haven't chosen it yet. So just know that if you are doing that, that's enough.
Yeah, that is just small, incremental, bit by bit. Just take it as it comes every single day. Bad thoughts come up, okay, transform them. You don't need to
Hmm.
hang on to them. That's how you
Hmm.
elevate. Very simply. Sounds so simple, but try it. Just try it. Prove me wrong.
Mm.
I know you
Mm.
can't, I know it won't be because that's how I fix myself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just being aware of what that inner process is, what happens, what's the dialogue that comes up, what are the reactions that normally come up. And just like, it doesn't have to be a polar opposite reaction. You don't have to go for full blown, you
Mm.
know, opposite extreme change, but you can slightly change your approach. You can slightly, but you have to catch the thing. You have to catch whatever happens first and hold that and shine a light on it and say, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? And am I genuinely happy with that? But
Mm.
this is where I also think that, yes, we can do loads of stuff alone, but having other people as mirrors to reflect back to us, you know the importance of that, Jen, like having people who are also in that space of really holding themselves accountable and doing the self-reflection work is really valuable, because sometimes your own patterns, you can't see beyond them until someone says, well, hang on a minute, that's a pattern. You always do that. Why do you do that? And
Yeah.
then you go, oh, thank you. Okay, right. Because I hadn't caught that for myself.
Mm. Yeah. And the thing with families, so the positive about going on your journey for the self-healing, for the self-transformation is uh your family might, I mean, it might be different now energetically, but it's still, I think it's getting lighter. It's getting lighter. So more people, even my family, are starting to be like, oh, why are things like that? Like they're starting to question things.
Yeah.
And I've gone through my journey, so I'm able to give them my view lens on why particular behaviors happen. And it always comes back to unhealed trauma
Yeah.
every single time. So what does that mean? Process your trauma, get on with your life, create new friends, new networks, people that are elevating themselves, their lives, their consciousness, and they want to have a better world for everyone. So, surround yourself in those kinds of lovely souls. Everyone elevates, and it's compounding interest um,
Mm.
for Gaia and for us. And
Yeah.
we're meant to have fun. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Go through the old, but we're also meant to here to bring in the new, and that involves joy and love. And
Yeah. And I think every time you do that, there is an element of those people who don't want the same thing, don't have the same vision, for a more harmonious world for everyone, they will naturally disappear from your world. And yes, they might be family, and they might be long-standing friends, and that is part of the process. It's because their energy no longer resonates with that way that we're moving forward.
yeah,
That we have to accept that.
yeah. And that's okay.
It's
And it
okay.
might be temporary or it might be permanent. But
Yeah.
the best thing that you can do if you are going through this situation is hold yourself in love, hold your family in love. You can give them to God,
Mm-hmm.
love, source, universe, a higher power that will protect them as
Mm-hmm.
well. You can do that. And then that also releases any burdens from your own shoulders, like I need to protect everyone. No, you don't. Concentrate on you, anchor and align to the unconditional loving source, which is regenerative in so many levels. And
Mm.
everyone will get there in their own perfect, divine, perfect timing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Hold that higher vision for them. And that's all you,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So, Gemma, how can people contact you, work with you? Have you got any things coming up, any events or?
I do actually. I have a workshop this evening. Unfortunately, it's only for women, so it's in the New World Women Collective membership. You can pay as a non-member if you wanted to come tonight, and it's a workshop specifically on human design for work and business. Because I've been on this journey myself in how to step in to the world of work, and I've been working with people who are in business, how to make sure that you are aligned with your natural energy, so that you're not stuck in a job you hate,
Mm.
still doing work that you hate. Um, So I'm going to be talking about that tonight in a workshop. If you want to find me through Instagram, it's at Gemma.Alignment Movement. And then on there is a link to my stand store, because I am launching a Sacred Self course. It's not quite fully designed and ready to go yet, but it's going to have all the elements of things that I love. So it's going to have human design in it. And then I'm also going to be working with the body, because I'm a yoga instructor also. So we'll be bringing in anchoring into the physical body as well. So yeah, that's it.
Lovely. What time is your workshop?
7 o'clock tonight.
7. Okay.
It will
All
be
right.
on my Instagram, because Olivia's already cross-posted me, so you'll find the link on there.
Perfect. All right. Well, I hope I can make it in time. I think I might be late by 30 minutes. How long's a Anyway, we'll
It's
talk
2
about this after.
hours. It's a big workshop. It's 2 hours. It's quite in depth.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. We'll speak about this afterwards, but
Okay.
I am interested.
Oh, thank you.
And for me, actually, I will be running a Lionsgate workshop on the 9th of August on the
Cool.
Saturday, which is 3 till 6 p.m. And I will be taking you how to. I'm also aiming it at people with creatives, visionaries, healers, coaches, but also those that might have ADHD, dyslexia, autism.
Okay.
And I have those, so I know also how the processes that I've used to help get focused, get grounded, clear my energy, protect my energy, because you can be very empathic and pick up a lot of other people's stuff. You're like, no. That will help you align to your work. And then the second and third parts are, the second is we're going to be going back in time to see if there's um, any limiting beliefs or blocks that might be stopping you from moving forwards on your path. And then the third part is we'll be going into a little bit more into your future to see where you should be focusing your energy, or where you could be focusing no, it should be a should, because it is, you've seen literally your best, highest
Yeah.
aligned path is, this is what I'm doing, this is what I need to focus on. So that's me. You can get more information at 108healingsenses.com, or Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/108 healing senses. You can get things there. And I've created a celestial botanical aura spray to go with it, and a crystal, and it's Lionsgate infused and themed. So that's really exciting. I'm just starting to
Oh,
the
nice.
labels are on the way. But those are the sprays, absolutely divine. And I have felt a real difference in my energies actually since using it. It can get a bit stuffy energetically at the moment, and I just give a little spritz. It's been really good on my skin as well, actually. I put witch hazel in it. So that's
Nice.
for me. But yes, thank you so much for listening, for joining in the conversation today. Just we really want to get more solutions than problems out into the world. So if this video resonates with you, definitely go along and follow Gemma. Give me a follow. Write a comment like, how does human design feel to you? And do you have any questions? Like, let's make this a community, because that's the only way everyone can get through, is by doing it together. And you find your love tribe, and we will kind of elevate together. So that's all from me for now, and all from us for now, and look forward to catching you next week in the next podcast on Wednesday. Might be 23rd or 24th. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see you next week. Thanks, Gemma. And yeah, I look forward to speaking again very soon.